Hello, and welcome to episode three,
Whatever.
Trois
Three. Yeah.
Tres
Zwei. No, zwei is two in German. Three? What's three in German?
Dry,
Right. Yeah.
much like the
Three
wit on this
dry.
podcast of,
Oh.
of the Cultural Truths podcast with myself, James Allen, and as always, Theon Vitaser.
Just to clarify, this is not a Liverpool shirt. This is a Middlesbrough shirt. It just looks a bit Liverpool in the end. In
It's
my little window there.
very nice though. MFC, Datsun
1980.
Cleveland.
1980, the first year of sponsors, of course. Some may say, has ruined the game and destroyed everything as well. Well, that's just capitalism, not sponsors on shirts. So, yeah.
I some will always be iconic, but if I could have a word with the Danish leagues, there's far too many.
Well, oh, the big flashy is like when it's like 10 lines like that.
Yeah.
Or
Is
when you've
there a,
got the worst one I feel is the South America. I think they got rid of it. They got rid of it in Argentina, but in a few South American countries, when I am logging into Bet365 of 4 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and see Junior Barranquilla or Atletico Bucaramanga with a massive sponsor on the back. It's a bit of where the name should be is disconcerting.
name should be on the top.
Mm.
He's not passed the ball to Bet365.
It's like it's like Harry Kane. Harry Kane probably thinks, why do I have to legally change my name to Bayern München?
the Scandinavian kit's always because it is literally just what else can we shove in it? Can we get a logo for the spa on
Oh
the
yeah, I can
on
edit
the
a logo. What logo do you want me to edit in?
oh no, so I was that's what they do in like Asia when they
Oh
design
right,
kits.
so that's a
Well, this
glorious
just
mistake.
needs a Burger King logo on the shoulder.
Yeah. That is the what's it the City who started that, isn't it? The fucking sleeve sponsors with Nexon tires.
Nixon type.
I've
Never heard of him.
never heard of them. And if I was to choose a tire out of spite, I would not go for Nexon. More a Michelin man myself.
Good year for me, and it hasn't been a good year in 2023 for Liverpool. Over to James. Yes, Liverpool's shirt sleeve sponsor Expedia, which you must assume some of their players have been using due to the amount of absences in the squad. Seamless, seamless.
Moises Caicedo, of course, looking at Liverpool hotels for one night only.
Like an unemployed tailor. Seamless. Um, how has your footballing week been?
Oh, it's been all right. We've had in terms of betting injustice, which will become a regular theme, I imagine, as it is a regular theme in my life. Women's football that I bet on because all power to the ladies and all that. Steph Cately. I got Ella Toon to score 4-1. Steal, absolutely great value. She scored. A good goal as well. But then Steph Cately to get booked at 14-1. Australia right back, and absolutely scythed down someone in the 95th minute and went unpunished. So absolutely disgraceful. And not forgetting Leighton Orient, who were in a dominant 65% possession against Wickham, who then proceeded to get a man sent off and fuck my bet as well. I've had more three quarters, more 3 out of 4s than fucking an English dad in Benidorm. Fucking shocking.
Do you do you take a personal vendetta now? Are you like, is that it now with Wickham?
Oh, I've got plenty of personal vendettas. Leighton Orient probably. I try not to because I try to be like, the Big Short and fucking finance. This is business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not let emotions cloud, making billions off the misery of others. But no, I do. I do. I used to keep. I used to keep a blacklist. I've probably still got the note on my phone of all the clubs that have wronged me. One that sticks out in particular is Independiente Rivadavia, who managed to shit a 1-0 lead in the 87th minute and lose 2-1. Yeah,
Good to see you let it go.
yeah, no, yeah. It was only about 5 years ago as well.
I think Palermo let me down.
Oh, don't say that. That is well, this week.
But I forgive them.
This week is the sort of resumption of Serie A, but unfortunately, no feature Kvaratskhelia because he's injured. But
No way.
I did think we should have to do we should do a CULTRAS tour of Italy once when this takes off, and all of you people decide to give us money. Because we've got Palermo we can go to, contacts and that. Napoli, Pescara, because there's a vulture authority song by Pescara depending on it was Livorno because of communism. Yeah. So more Italian clubs than Alfredo Flintstone. Yeah, there you go.
I like that. The left wing tour of Italy.
Yeah. And then we could stop in Lazio. We could stop in Lazio and be influencers.
Hey guys, yeah. So, bit of an update regarding my Italian club. I did not realize the racial connotations linked to SS Lazio. Done a bit of background research since, and I would like to apologize.
Official YouTuber apology about picking the wrong club would be fantastic, to be fair.
So funny.
Like an American goes, speaking of Americans going to Millwall, as what I was just about to say, Billy Joe Armstrong, my dad, has a Green Day tattoo underneath that badge there. He was just scrolling through, and he put all the summer of whatever, and he was just scrolling through random bars he was in London, and then he was at the fucking Den. He was at Millwall in the home end. What's fucking going on here? Yeah, so there you go.
Hell.
Bit of a basket case.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll turn your head into some fucking brain stew. Another one. There's going to be an influx now where that is going to become the norm, I think, because if he's obviously, Tom Brady at the Birmingham City game.
Oh yeah.
Armstrong, Millwall.
Yeah, that would very much upset me if Billy Joe Armstrong decided to part own the next alphabetical club in the Championship if it wasn't Middlesbrough. But
do Borough have any famous fans apart from Bob Mortimer?
Bob Mortimer, me, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously the most elite. There's a few people, yeah. But struggling to think of. I think, I'm struggling to think of. I don't want to embarrass myself, so I won't say anything. Yeah.
Chris Rea, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. He only comes to Boxing Day games.
That would be if has Stu Brackpom gone yet?
He's gone to Ajax. Yeah, that's why. If he'd have gone when I was in Amsterdam like 2 weeks ago, I could have bought the shirt. But I think that's a bit painful. I don't know what the policy would be on. So, I don't know. Would you buy a bit of a stupid question asking you? But would you buy like a Gibril Cisse Panathinaikos shirt? Of course you would.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, but if someone maybe someone a bit, I don't know. Say if I don't know, Gerrard left at the peak of his powers and went to Chelsea, wouldn't that not the same thing, is it? It's different.
No. But, yeah, to be fair, Europe adjacent, I'd say you're fine.
Yeah, if it wasn't it's not in the same country.
What if here's one for you. What if Kavicha joined Rangers?
Oh well, that'd just be that'd be too. I think possibly I'm taking, because Rangers were apparently looking at him once upon a time, as were Everton, as were a lot of clubs. But I think a lot of that sometimes like bollocks, Like,
Yeah,
Fleetwood Town could have signed Mbappe when he was 12. Shut up. Yeah, just no. But yeah, well, Newcastle would be. I think Newcastle would be worse. You know,
do
because
you hate
our lads
Newcastle?
went to Rangers, so and because he's an Orthodox Christian, I would imagine that he's more. That's Orthodox Christianity is basically Catholicism. The See of Nicaea may disagree with me, but yeah. So you would, yeah. But Arveladze was at Rangers, so it'd be like a bit more reasonable. Do you know what I mean? If he went to Rangers, because it's like national legend, but he's played
Yeah,
for.
someone's already bridged that gap. I'm actually more of a Tau Buddhist guy.
I did see actually when I was in Tbilisi 5 years ago. Two instances of Rangers tops with Arveladze on the back. So yeah.
There you go. I
But
love it.
it's more like, I'll let it go. I don't think they're going home and practicing. Young Lasher going home practicing the flute.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All Celtic for just for balance. Who's Chubrak? So who's next? Who's next in line in Middlesbrough's?
Oh, we signed a lad called Emmanuel Latte Laugh, which somebody put in the Twitter replies. Can't remember his name, so I'm not going to credit it because I can't remember your name. But he put live, laugh, love, which I thought was quite fun. And then the club stole it for these announcements. So
yeah. Live, laugh, live. Sorry, laugh latte.
Latte laugh,
Latte laugh.
like latte as in like coffee. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say something like if Chris Rea was in town, and it's latte laugh. Oh, and that's been driven home for Christmas.
Go on.
It was always brewing.
Hey. He's got his, if he's a keeper, got his PG tips. No, it's dreadful.
There, that's good. That is good.
That was it. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, James. I've realised I've done a good portion of the talking here. What's your football week been?
Not at all, mate. My footballing week. Well, I've just got back from. I've got to stop doing this voice. But there were so many people up there. It sounded like I've just got back from the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everyone's called Ivor.
yeah,
Ivor.
I was doing a play about mustard, which reminded me of my
Jaunty
dead dad.
Japes at the Monkey Barrel. Jaunty Japes looks up, man. Yeah.
To be fair, we did have some theatre students in our show a couple of days ago who weren't interested in our show. They wanted to fly their show, so they just put their flyer on the stage.
So that's not great marketing, I would say.
No.
So if you're gonna go, I'm disrupting your show to give you a letter about mine. I may come to it to firebomb it, but yeah.
They weren't interested in my material about the South American commentator Bambino Pons. But the flyer was resting on the stage. I mean, it fell over, and the lady went, and then she put it back up again. So that was fun. But football-wise, the old Jambos beat Rosenborg last night.
Jambos.
Watched that and watched Liverpool Chelsea's always
There's always There's always seems most big top six games do tend to be shit.
Yeah.
Other than
I think still riding high on that 7-0. But yeah, and then I also got shouted at by some FC Luzern fans on Wednesday.
The Swiss lads, they're not particularly argy-bargy. It tends to happen when you have a well-functioning social democracy at home. But,
because I don't the away they were playing away in Switzerland, but some of them had stayed because I think they wanted to do like this guy was telling me they wanted to do like a week tour and like visit all the stadiums. And they walked through the town chanting, and I went, oh, these guys seem fun. And one guy just came up to me and went, "Whoa! Whoa!"
You had to give him a flyer for your
Yeah.
show.
Hey guys, looking for some free comedy tonight.
Free comedy night tonight, guys.
No, all the best with the return leg.
No, oh God.
I did have a Hibs fan who came up to me and looked at the flyer, looked at me, and just went, "That looks fucking shite, ball." But good luck with it. And then just walked off. Thank you. So it's been a very strange football week. A lot of I went to watch the Wolves United game with my mates who are United fans.
Oh, well,
And
right. Sorry, I forgot they played United. I thought you were on about some fucking American minor league team. Then.
Oh no, I'm just talking about when a pack of wolves decide to unionize.
An injury to grandma is an injury to all.
And Sky have done this awful thing. Apart from letting pitch side, that's what the guys are called. I was trying to think of the name. They've got what's his name? Oh, I've forgotten one of their names. Theo is one of them.
Theo Ogden from Bolton.
Oh, but they've let him out do some predictions, which is shocking. I really think that this is going to be Stevenage's year. No one gives a shit. Go back to your oligarch money.
Yeah, so well, he probably thinks it's a ski resort called Sant Avenage, you know.
Curse of the commentator there. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so they're allowing a pitch side. I've forgotten the name of the guy, but there's three blokes, and they're just like. There was a video today about Liverpool have complained about Chelsea's FFP, and the guy was like, "Yeah, but no one's asked, mate. No one's asked. You know, if someone was parking your car, so sorry, if someone found a parking space and you wanted that parking space, would you grass on them? No, you wouldn't. Just find another space."
Yeah, that's totally that makes total sense to compare them to.
Oh, get a better comparison. And Sky have done this thing where you are, I don't know how you describe it, but there's always like ways of making the preamble even more shocking.
Torturous, usually. And
yeah,
sometimes I like going into I like putting a game on like an hour and a half before it starts, just because it's absolute just time. It's like absolute time filler, worse than Vulture Authority music videos. But I've discovered a slow-mo technique that you can get 3 minutes out of 30 seconds.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just like, so does anyone like the last fucking Clinton Morrison, before the proper pundits come on, they have like the shit ones. Roy Keane's in makeup. So we're gonna talk to Clinton Morrison about fucking Luton v Burnley in 1974. What thinks about
that? Yeah, this one had. I don't mind a bit of analyze. I don't mind a little bit of analyzing, but not. There's only so much you can talk about channels and
when people start talking about pivots and double pivots.
Yeah. And peeling back off the there's this new technology they've got where it's like VR and you're like on the pitch, and you've got a sort of heads up view of like. And they were chatting about the Salah pass to Diaz for the goal, but they were all like robot men that were meant to be the football, and it just looked terrible. And they were like calculating pass yardage, and it was like 5.6 yards. I was like,
no,
I don't know who this is appealing to.
Can't think of anything that could give you less information than average pass yards.
Yeah,
like Unless you can start betting on it, I don't
exactly,
care.
yeah. Which would I think that might be soon. That can you? Yeah. What will be the longest
Oh, it'll
pass
get
yardage?
worse. It's like on well, it's like on the NFL. You can bet on how long the fucking national anthem on Super Bowl. You can bet how long the fucking national anthem is going to be. And if it's like,
Really?
like who's singing it? Christina Aguilera. That'll be a good 6 minutes then. Thank you. Put the house on over 2 minutes.
Just a dad with a stopwatch. Stay in the conservatory. 6 minutes. 2. Kids, do you still have those tents? Still got those tents.
It's just like at least we don't do that over here. You know, there's many things wrong with Britain, obviously, but the Joy King new single coming next week. By the way, to hear about things that are wrong with Britain, such as the occupation of my ancestral homeland Ireland. Yes. We're Ireland and New Zealand, where we've suffered great colonial woes.
The Treaty of I think the Treaty of Waitangi enabled trade, but then it was a sort of a backdoor policy for English colonizers to just steal whatever they wanted off the Maori, I believe. So,
but what were we talking about?
I think we should take over. We should take
Republican Army. What?
We should. I keep saying we should take over there. Someone's going to clip that and think we're sort of going to be a little fascist rebel. We should take over and do those segments, I think. And I think we should fill it with,
comedian destroys prospects for a United Ireland.
We were going to show you deep in analysis with our new software, but we're with Theon and James who want to talk about their favourite kits from 2004.
Well, I think, but I don't like, is your average bloke who's watching the only people I think who are interested in it to delve back into racism are dip our toe in the straits of racism. The only people interested in it, I think, are like, you're not to be, but like the lads who have a fucking war in Fabrizio Romano's comment section about Pelsey are washed or whatever, Piverpool, and like, you click on them, they're always from fucking Malaysia or something. Like, what is it a TV show to you? Why are you so invested?
Yeah, it's proper drama, isn't it? And they always reply with that Mbappe quote of
I'll be there, whatever.
Oh yeah. I've just remembered I've got an incredible anecdote for you. Well, not incredible. We'll
build that up.
We'll weigh it after. We'll weigh it on the scale of
racism,
of incredible. I was doing a gig a couple of days ago. There's a bit in my set where I explain that. Spoiler alert! There's a bit where I'm like, I do love
the superiority of the faces.
I do love football. However, I'm not like this podcast. We're not here to talk about possession stats or formate. We're not. Loads of people do that. We're here to talk about escapades in League One. Like when the Welsh team in the 90s had to train in Usk prison. That's more our vibe.
That's like John Parkin's autobiography, Escapades in League One.
Forward, who played in League One for ages? Forward by Paul Dicko. This guy, I was always saying, "Oh yeah, I do like football." And I was like, "There's a line in my show where, like, for example, my pastime is I really enjoy Googling stadium capacities in Moldova." And this guy went, "Oh, I love football, mate." And I went, "Really?" He went, "Who's your favorite footballer?" He went, "I really like Pele." I went, "Pele?" And he went, "Hey, I've got Pele's name tattooed on my arm." And I kid you not, on his wrist, he had Pele's signature tattooed on his arm.
No.
And I went, "How on earth is that happening?" It turned out he met Pele about 5 or 6 years ago.
And this is 10 really hurts.
He got him to draw on his arm, and then he went to get it tattooed as a news article and everything. And then I went, "Oh, so who do you support then?" And he went, "Real Madrid."
What? Yeah, yeah. Should be Santos or whatever
Exactly,
irrelevant
yeah.
team
But
they made all these stats up for. Yeah.
I met a man who had Pele's signature tattooed on his arm.
This is something I found out the other day, or relatively recently anyway. No, Abedi Pele of Ghanaian fame.
Yes, yeah,
That is Andre and Jordan Ayew's dad, that.
it is, yeah.
Know that. There you go.
Um,
Yeah.
big shout out that 2006 Ghanaian team. Had Asamoah Gyan, John Pansel, I think,
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Apaya. Oh no, yeah, Stephen Apaya.
Oh,
I love Stephen Apaya.
SEN, no?
Yeah,
And that,
SEM.
we got to Apaya and Pantel before we got to
Mate,
SEN.
I look, Stephen. I used to, on He was great on Pez. Essien as well, fresh off the Chelsea goal against Arsenal as well.
Billy Montari. We must not be
Yes,
Score. He
Print.
used to score. Portsmouth had an entire midfield of just lads who could just score absolute fucking bangers from
Yeah,
midfield. Taylor,
Taylor. Yeah,
Kouazi, Montari. We had others as well.
Cranchar.
Huh?
Cranchar.
Cranshaw, that's four. Yeah.
Mate, that's a very Crouch Defoe.
Herman is a left back, but Herman Riderson used to fucking hit a few thunder cunts in his time as well.
Crouch.
Defoe.
Crouch Defoe. Johnson.
Did you be playing the same team as Crouch, or did Crouch? I think Crouch only played for Portsmouth for 1 year, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a bit of a note. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, Luar was a bit. They had like Lasana Diarra at one point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who went to
This is
Madrid.
Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp was the original Mohammed bin Salman.
Yeah. Come to the South Coast. John Utaka.
Oh yeah. He's still playing in Japan, you know, John Utaka.
Really?
Yeah, for I think Nagoya Grampus, maybe mistaken, but he scored. He was top scorer last year or the year before.
Wow.
And then the year before that, what's his name now? I'm gonna Google this because it's going to annoy me. But a Kenyan 6'5" lad, Michael Olunga, I've just remembered,
Wow.
was top scorer in Japan just because he was 6'5" and fucking could jump about 10 feet in the air. And the tallest centre back he had to face was like 6'1", so he scored like 35 goals over the season.
Jesus. FC Luzerne have I looked at their team. You know Max Meyer.
Oh yeah.
He was meant to be like shit hot. Went to Palace and now he's applying his trade in Switzerland.
Which for literally every other trade is good. Because you have very tax, but not in football.
Lovely stuff.
Banking, he's playing. Dave, who used to work at the bank, he's now applying his trade in Switzerland. That means he's fucking minted. It means he's having a great life, but not in football terms. It means you're fucking in the chocolate division.
Yeah, and they're also another league where I can't see what your name is because there's a big McDonald's logo in front of it.
Although he's recently gone back to the Swiss league to the mighty St. Gallen. Betim Fazli, another of my football manager infatuations, played the ball over the top of Arsenal's defence too, Featured Kvaratskhelia in the 2025 Champions League final that took place in Budapest between Middlesbrough and Arsenal, as you'll remember, from 2 years in the future. But yeah.
Are you calling that now? Is that going to happen in 2 years' time?
I don't think so, because we'd have to be in the Champions League next season, which is literally impossible. But yeah. It would have been had I been hired at the height of the pandemic. Instead of Neil Warnock. Imagine that move. Middlesbrough have gone for some lad from Manchester who was working from home before this. Now he's signing a load. He's given a load of Irish passports to a load of Jordan lads. Here we go. Because to be fair, like all my football manager achievements, which I will put up against the very best. I did cheat with the editor just because I don't recognise, because I'm a communist who recognises no borders, no difference between workers. I I gave anybody I wanted to sign that I couldn't get a work permit for. Have an Irish passport, sir. There you go. Didn't put an English one because that's you don't want don't want Kavita accidentally turning out for England. So,
No. And much like many modern day retail parks, you recognise there is no borders. Silence is deafening. You could do that. You could take over Middlesbrough. You take it. Say it's quite hard to do a pun. Been trying to do it for 6 years, mate. You could take over Borough. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. You don't adopt the manager role, but you take over Borough.
Chairman.
You do a sort of similar thing to Saudi, but the opposite way, where the third kit is green, but in homage to Ireland.
Yeah.
You move all your but it doesn't make sense to just keep the scouting department here. No. We're moving it to Tbilisi.
Which is where I think that accent was from. So.
Thought about Borough.
Tees Bleasy, more like.
Tees Bleasy. Green Broly. Green Broly. My cousin's. Shout out Luke, who's a Borough fan. My cousin. Green Broly. Fun fact: I went to a Borough game with him in 2009 against Doncaster. Sunshine Leroy Lita scored, and there was a fight broke out.
So standard.
You should move the scouting thing to Tbilisi, and then sort of give every Georgian kid an Irish passport.
Yeah. Kizanashvili.
Yeah. Kavicha Murphy.
Mac Kvilataya. There you go.
Owen Yashvili. And then you've now created a hybrid team of your dream of half Irish, half Georgians.
There was actually a lad in I remember being in watching Napoli and Rangers in O'Shane's, the Irish bar in town, Manchester. And some lad said, like when did they sort of name on Kavich's shirt? It's like, fucking hell, his name's hard to spell. And then somebody reminded him that he was called Owen, spelt with an Eoghan. So it's quite funny. Yeah. It's like me saying it, even though my name's not hard to spell. It's just that English people are stupid. Yeah. There we go. Well, we've settled that debate.
They are. English people are stupid.
What would you do in charge of if you were chairman of the old Liverpool FC, mate? What would your mad schemes be?
I'd demolish Anfield. No, I'm kidding. I'd keep Anfield.
Reunite with Everton.
Yeah. We'd form one big purple club, red and blue. I can feel people. What the fuck is he on about, lads?
Yeah.
I'd relocate the scouting basis to
Death threat episodes in for a light-hearted joke about renaming Anfield Goodison Field or something.
Yeah, like that Shoot magazine that had the Shoot magazine that had Ian Rush signing for Everton on April Fool's Day. I'd move operations to Auckland. Immediately sign Chris Wood on a 10-year deal. Sign Roberto Cacace, who's probably the next biggest.
I did sign him once for whoever it was. I was on. It wasn't Borough on Football Manager when I was Dally. I think maybe it might have been Cowden beat on. It wasn't because we didn't have any fucking money. Anyway, someone.
And then I'd sort of make. Fun fact about Roberto Cacace is his dad is half Kiwi, half Italian. And obviously, New Zealand played Costa Rica in the playoff for the latest World Cup, and Italy played Macedonia, and he had tickets booked for either situation. None of them qualified. Unlucky.
That's very painful.
What I do is I try and just make sure that I don't know how you can create a generation of of youth players, but maybe sort of try and sign an abundant. I don't know, like advise it as it's a good place to start a family, and then once their kids are born there, New Zealand passport, and then that's mandatory.
Mm.
You've got to play for New Zealand.
Yeah, there's that's what I don't understand with a lot of the sort of dally, like dilly dallying with more dither and delay than Brexit. With like young players who are clearly going to be mustered. Like Grealish, who's playing for Villa he should have just been put straight in the national team at 17.
Yeah,
Lock him in forever.
it is a bit of a. I mean,
Not Declan Rice.
I'm nowhere near qualified to chat about this, but like, if I had the choice, obviously I would play for New Zealand. But the Grealish and Rice examples, I think, are an example of it going completely the wrong way, where like you're using a nation as like a stepping stone, basically, to then go, oh yeah,
Grealish, to be fair though, Grealish, I'm not that asked about because it was just under 21s. Whereas
right.
Declan Rice is like the under 21s. Yeah, you are sort of using it as a stepping stone a bit, but it's a bit like it's under 21s is just development football anyway, isn't it? So less of punch, and because Jack Grealish just seems like it'd be good fun to have a pint with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Declan Rice, obviously, like seems like someone put a video. Look, this it looks like proper Love Island banter, as well. So that's another mark on his death warrants for me.
Yeah, I don't know if what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I think because like when John Toshak scouted for Wales, I think he just researched and saw if anyone had a connection whatsoever, which I think is quite a good way of going about it.
Like Martin O'Neill tried to say Jamie Vardy had an Irish grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had who did you have? Oh, what's his? Oh, left back played for Villa. Not Paul Pest.
Oh no, not, oh, I was going to say Matty Cash, but he's Matej Kaczynski.
Irish played. He was in the Irish team in the 90s. Sorry, because it was like Aldridge.
Oh, I don't know.
The name escapes me. That's going to haunt me forever. I think we've got less than a minute.
This is the CULTRAS promise. We will leave lots of dead air trying to think about fucking left backs and
Yeah.
He was one. Yeah.
It's going to do my head in that.
Yeah.
Pescarino? No, I don't know. We've got less than a minute, but I think we've put the world to rights passport wise.
Yes,
might talk about the granddad rule actually in the future episodes.
Any other suggestions you may have while we'll wrap up extremely quickly because we've got less than a minute then. Do any suggestions for episodes? Leave them there. Let us know what you think. If you've got an opinion about Swiss football, get it Philippe sent across.